Welcome back to week 8 of the NFL season. This is our NFL bet show where we go through our top three bets of the week, including our lock of the week. I actually don't, it was a ugly week besides Alex last week.
3-0, baby. 3-0.
Yeah.
I
The
hit my
Bears.
lock.
Me out.
PB,
Yeah,
did you hit your
Alex.
lock?
Yeah, Nick finally missed a lock, right?
PB,
Yeah.
did you hit your lock though? This is something I'm curious about.
No, I did not.
Who's your lock?
Oh,
We don't have to start this
I
already.
forgot we were gonna revisit that, the Titans versus
Oh, no, the
Colts.
Dolphins versus the
or
Colts.
I
oh,
think
I'm
it's
looking
only
at week
because
6.
Tyler Huntley
The Dolphins
went out
versus the
injured.
Colts.
Oh,
Otherwise,
that's
Yeah.
why, because Mike White
but
had to play two pass plays.
Okay, I'll just say this. If I was told that the game plan of the Dolphins coming off of a bye week was to not give Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle a target in an entire NFL football game, I would have said, I don't even know what kind of odds that you could have gotten on something like that. I mean, that is crazy what their game plan was.
Well, I will say, I'll revisit what I said that Tyler Huntley sucks at quarterback and
No,
that he
but that was
can't
a
throw the
game plan.
ball.
You don't go through a game without targeting them unless there was like a different game plan.
I mean, it doesn't matter. We locked him down. So,
Yeah, whatever.
I
You
mean, they
didn't
didn't get a
lock. You
target.
don't
So,
lock
what,
Tyreek
what
Hill.
is what does that equate to? We locked him down.
Moving on to week 8. Who wants to start us off with their first pick?
I'll go first here since I'm rocking the hat and the home team. Give me the Bears going into Washington -2.5. Jaden Daniels still has not practiced as of today, Wednesday night. And this line is telling me that he's not playing. I mean, I don't see a world where the Bears are favored going into Washington if Jaden Daniels is playing this game. So I'm going under that assumption. And this Washington defense has, it's gotten a little better. Dan Quinn's a good coordinator, but I think they've been propped up by bad offenses. They've been letting up a ton of rushing yards, ton of touchdowns, and basically been winning the game with their offensive efficiency on the back of Jaden Daniels and his really awesome start to his career. But my guess here is that we're getting Marcus Mariota, and I will take the Bears defense against Marcus Mariota any day of the week. Um, his first half ATS is roughly 30% coverage rate. He is 260 out of 262 qualifying quarterbacks in the last 20 years on that mark. And then to back that up, Caleb is 6-0 on the second half ATS, which is only him and Mahomes right now. So if you're going off of those metrics, Bears cover the first half and the second half, which means they're getting the win here. Coming off of extended rest, off of the bye week, Eberflus is 5-2, and I think that Cliff Kingsbury is going to struggle against this defense. No Jaden Daniels. Washington does not scare me without him. So Bears going on the road, getting it done. They've had a really cupcake schedule to start the year, but I'll take it. Build that confidence up in Caleb.
Yeah, I mean it's paying off. You saw him put up 35 points last week. Um, I don't even care if Jaden Daniels plays. I'm taking this line no matter what. I'm gonna do it now while it's early. Um, I mean that offense is obviously clicking for the Bears. They're starting to figure it out. Caleb's coming into form, and he's playing like the number one pick that we all thought he could be. I also think the Monsters of Midway on the defensive side of the ball match up perfectly with the Commanders too. I think you got Jalen Johnson can lock down McLaurin, and receiving option number two's kind of been a toss up. So it's a pretty good defense for the Bears. I think they could limit the run. So I think they match up really nicely. And if Daniels does play, he's not going to be out there trying to rush 15 times a game, and he's going to be forced to be a little bit more of a pocket passer. And I think that secondary is going to be able to hold him down a little bit. Um, if he does play, I think it's a shootout. So I like the over in that scenario as well. But for right now, I'm taking the Bears with you.
Who? Just curious. Do the Bears play like any like notable like good defenses coming up soon? I'm not being
No.
like
The back half of their schedule is
okay.
bonkers.
Okay.
They haven't played a divisional game yet, so they're going to get the
Oh,
Lions defense twice, the Vikings defense twice, and the Packers defense twice, and the 49ers. Who am I missing?
I mean,
they
the next
they
three
could've-
games are pretty simple. You got the Commanders, Cardinals, and Patriots.
no,
Yeah, I
I
was
mean
about to say,
we need to go 3-0 or 2-1 at the very least, with the back half of the year being Vikings twice, Packers twice, Lions twice, 49ers, and Seahawks. So
yeah.
I mean,
The only reason I asked was because it's gonna. I mean, playing these terrible defenses is gonna boost his confidence for sure, and that's what he needs.
yeah.
That's what you
No,
want from a rookie.
he's looked better each week. Waldron has looked better in his play calling each week. They're fixing the mistakes that they had early on, which is what you want to see, even when you're not playing the toughest competition. Still putting up 30 points in back-to-back games on any professional defense
Yeah.
is a good thing.
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year, the NFC runs through the Bears. That was a comment made by me.
I think all four teams are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, division's insane.
I just think looking at the schedule, it's like those teams have to play the Bears. That's how you should look at it. They have to play the Bears.
I love that, PB. I love that.
God,
Are you a Bears fan now?
No,
Turn off
I'm
your
just
camera,
saying
Davey.
they're
We add it
good.
to the
They're
list?
so good.
add it to the list.
They're so good. And I'm not a fan of the. I mean, I am from Illinois. I'm not a fan of the Bears though. It's like a secondary thing. Like I'm a
Yeah,
Saints fan.
yeah, you're a secondary fan of them. Saints first,
Yeah,
and then once they
the
suck,
Bears, I would say,
you
are
move to the
only
Cowboys,
team.
and then the Bengals.
No, I'm
Now
not.
the Bears.
I could care less about those teams.
Okay, well, Cody, if you're
Yeah, now that they suck,
The Bengals suck. I don't think so.
Cowboys suck.
not the best record.
Yeah, the Bengals are like the best team in that division. But anyway, the Titans plus 11 is my first pick. The theme for all my picks this week are just going to be taking kind of these dumpster teams and the points. Everyone's just out on these teams at this. I mean, rightfully so, but this is just too many points to give up versus the Lions. You know, the Titans still have a pretty solid defense. It's not like this just cakewalk defense that, teams just run through. They the Lions have no Jameson Williams. They're talking about Allen Robinson getting some like big workload. And we know that the Lions typically like to run the ball, and the Titans, that like they're a harder defense to have that game plan against. So it's more of like this spot, this matchup. I could see the Lions like handedly winning this game, but I could easily see a backdoor cover here by the Titans, especially getting that 11 over that hook of 10. So I'm just taking the points. Tyjae Spears might be back here. I know Hopkins is gone, but I mean he wasn't really doing anything anyway. So uh, yeah, I'm backing the Titans here. It's as ugly as it gets, but I'm backing them.
It's a tough Lions team to keep up with there. Jared Goff just doesn't throw incomplete passes.
Yeah, I just
Callie agrees.
or disagrees. I don't know, but no, I guess he does. He hasn't really thrown many incomplete passes as of late.
Crazy.
I just think this is like a game that the Lions could, maybe look past, look ahead. Coming off of a big win, I just think this is a little bit more of like a letdown spot, not some like big blowout.
Dan Campbell doesn't have that in his DNA. He coaches his guys up every week.
Okay. Well, we'll find out on Sunday. They do have the Packers, Texans, Jags, Bears, like all those teams coming up. I can see this being like a look ahead type game where they just try to get the win, but they're focused on other teams right now.
You didn't.
Teams
just
don't do
throw
that.
the Jags in there.
What?
You did not just throw the Jags in there.
He did.
I did. I like the Jags.
I know.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence
So
is not
does the
a
losing record.
Trevor Lawrence is not a quarterback you can just like look past.
Sure you can.
Yeah, you can.
I disagree with that.
Is if it's a bad defense, then sure. But
Well, he put up what, 37 on your Colts?
I mean, what did I say?
Okay, I'm just saying.
What
Almost
I what
beat-
what,
almost
what are
beat
my
the Texans?
Bad
what are my
defense.
words? I said a bad defense.
Colts, not a great.
Don't have a great defense.
The Colts defense as of late has been better.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's
Regardless.
when you made the switch at corner to, You got rid of Flowers or whatever, he was injured, and then I forget the other one, Juju Brents maybe, and now you have Kenny Moore healthy and the other lockdown Sam, whatever you call him.
Yeah, Lockdown Sam.
Is that his name?
Yeah, that's his God-given name, Lockdown
Yeah,
Sam.
whatever. Well,
Um,
he's
Born to
played
be a
well.
corner.
all
He's
right.
played well in what he's in,
He has played
what he's
well.
done this year. So,
All
you
right.
know,
Well, I'm gonna take my pick here, and I'm gonna take a home dog here. I'm gonna take a divisional home dog and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 2.5, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. And everyone's probably this line is probably gonna get even higher, so you can wait till probably kickoff, I would assume. But we're recording Wednesday. This is what the line is at now. I will wait till Sunday to take it, but I do like the Bucks. The reason I like the Bucks, they are at home and they are wearing their creamsicle jerseys this week. So, yes, obviously they are without Chris Godwin. He dislocated his ankle. Mike Evans, hamstring, stretched really far. He's not playing either. So now we got Jalen McMillan, Sterling Shepard, and Trey Palmer.
I had to
But
sorry to cut you off. I had to triple check that was the same Sterling Shepard.
it is.
How is he still in the league?
He played college with Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma. He's not that old.
I feel like he's been in the league for 15 years.
I mean, I think he came in his junior year after Oklahoma, and then he was very good with the Giants. I
He
mean,
was.
but obviously that was like 6 years, 7 years ago. But I mean, yeah, they got absolutely trounced by the Ravens. Not gonna, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Ravens will basically do anything they want against that defense, but it's a divisional game. I just think that, just because obviously you're out your two starting receivers, yes, they play a huge part moving the ball down the field, but their run game has been very exceptional with the three running backs that they use. Bucky Irving out of the backfield catching the ball as well. You got, what's the other guy's name? The rookie that they're playing, who's getting Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker's getting a lot of playing time. I mean, I think they just can try to control the ball on the ground. Baker's going to understand that, at the very beginning of this game, that, we're not going to try to force the ball. That's what he got into trouble last week or on Monday night against the Ravens, forcing the ball down the field when it's not needed. They still have Cade Otton. I know he's not like a exceptional talent at tight end, but he's definitely better than average. And with Atlanta, they're not very good in the NFC South as of lately. I mean, they're 4-8 last 12 ATS. Tampa Bay 4-1 last 5 against NFC South teams. So give me the Bucks at home dogs.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting pick there, Corey. I'm playing the exact opposite side.
I'm with
They
you,
played-
Nick.
They played 2 weeks ago in a shootout, and the Falcons won. Now the Bucks have their two best receivers gone, and do you think they're going to pull out a
Yeah, they're wearing the
2.5
creamsicle
point
jerseys.
spread? I don't believe it. They didn't even cover the last time when they had all their guys. So, I mean, it's just simple as that. I think this line is a lot closer, mainly because the Seahawks slapped the Falcons last week. Fine, but I'm expecting Kirk Cousins to bounce back. He's a veteran quarterback. He's not just going to stay in a slump. High-powered offense. I think Drake London, Kyle Pitts keep it going, and throwing Darnell Mooney to you. He's been an absolute dark horse all
Bijan.
season. Yeah, you got Bijan. Alligator's been playing awesome. That guy runs harder than Pacheco. So,
Impossible.
I think there's some holes in that defense. AJ Terrell looked absolutely terrible last week, but
Yeah, I'll say that I only have 3 picks this week, but if I had a fourth, this would be the next one on the list. And it's a short week for them. I don't understand
That
this.
line's going to get higher than what it is. So,
yeah. I mean, I took it
Yeah, I'm
early.
saying now, if you can bet the Falcons at under 3, I mean, it's just like a gift in my opinion. And I'll say I've been very cold lately. People, you can look at my record just the last few weeks. It has not been great. I'm seeing the board very clearly this week, and I'm telling you, I have not felt this confident. That could be but I think the tides are about to turn, and I wish I could put 6 or 7 picks on my card this week because I think I'm winning all of them. I'll just say that.
do you see clearly now because the rain is gone?
Corey, I'm seeing things. I'll just say that. I'm everything, all the numbers are like popping out at me. Like, I was at like the Falcons minus two and a
Rain
half,
Man
just
style.
like
Nice.
screaming at me to take that.
Well,
He did go on an absolute heater at the end of last year too. So maybe this is where you turn it around again.
Yeah, I mean, it's three ugly teams. I mean, when you hear my next two, you're like, oh, maybe this isn't the way he's seeing the board
Yeah.
clearly, but we'll see. I
You
just
didn't sell me on the Titans, so we'll see what you could do here.
okay. Well, who's next? Or there's Alex.
Why don't you go? You
Yeah.
teed yourself up there. Take it.
Okay.
Take your second one.
Well, we got the Brownies at plus 9.5 against the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, there's a few teams that are as hot as the Ravens right now. And I'll say this line has already gone towards the Browns' favor. This was over 10 already. I think I shouted out in the group chat early in the week. It might have even been 11 or something when I told you. I forget what it was right when I told you guys, but it's already moved under 10. A lot of sharp money's already come in on the Browns. You know, Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than what Deshaun Watson was. He's obviously better than DTR. The offensive line is now getting healthy. I believe you're getting some guys back. That offensive line was looking pretty rough there for a bit. The Ravens' weakness is their pass defense. They're a pretty solid run defense, but we know Winston, like that's how he plays. It's a passing attack. And Chubb's presence is going to still make like even though his efficiency was terrible last week. Obviously, he's coming off the injury. Just like him being in the game is going to at least make the Ravens have to account for that somewhat. So I think Jameis Winston is going to be able to pass all over this defense, whether it's a low scoring game. Like I don't see the Ravens just like putting it on the Browns in this spot. And yeah, and in this divisional game, give me the points here. I'm taking 9.5. Jameis Winston maybe bring in some life to Cleveland here.
I mean, I hope so. I'm getting Hugh Jackson vibes all over the place. Cleveland.
I think
There's Miles
also
Garrett trade rumors. I just saw a report that they're planning on firing two-time coach of the year Kevin Stefanski week 10. So it's like these, Moneyball front office guys think that, they found their scapegoat and they're going to let go of one of the best coaches we've ever had. Incredibly frustrating as a Browns fan. Like the Deshaun Watson thing didn't work out. Like this isn't on Stefanski. So I'm
It's
going to be pretty upset when that happens.
It's wild to see a report 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance. We haven't played week 8 yet. That week 10 on the bye, they're going to fire him, or like that it's being floated out there by somebody already. That's wild.
Yeah. Maybe it's a misinformation campaign. Who knows?
who knows? Who
well,
knows?
and the other thing, this game's at home. It's like divisional game at home, almost double-digit point dogs. And I get, usually like it can be pretty deflating when your starting quarterback that you paid $250 million for goes down, and you'd think the fans like, but no, it's gonna have the opposite effect of where like people were not fans of Deshaun Watson, and no, it's not like
They let them hear it.
yeah, like
The players are pretty
having
upset about
Jameis
that too.
Winston in there is going to like give that fan base for however many people go to this game. I think the tickets were like $10 or something to attend this
Yeah.
game, but
I mean,
whoever's there,
it's pretty interesting. As bad as the Browns have been over really since 1999, like all the players have always been like, "Oh, we gotta do right by the city." And I think a lot of them feel very betrayed that they were, cheering for an injury of a player. So, I mean, I guess we could see what Winston does, but
yeah, I'm not like obviously like yeah,
the
cheering for
the
injury
vibes
is
are
not
not good
good,
in the locker room in Cleveland right now. I could say
no,
no.
but I think if there's one guy that can just like rally everyone together, it is literally Jameis Winston.
Yeah, he's the only one crazy enough to get it done.
Like
Eat those
he can
dubs.
rally that group.
Yeah,
Nom, 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 nom.
we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna.
Oh,
I'll
oh
just
my
say
God! You
I
didn't even
will
bring
I
this up.
will
Wait, wait,
not
wait!
be
Hang on, wait. You didn't bring this up in your talks. Jameis Winston steals crab legs. Baltimore, home of crab legs.
I mean
Therefore, ipso facto,
Yeah,
Browns steal a
he's
win here.
stealing a win. To be honest,
Wow.
I would not be shocked at all. I know a lot of people. I wouldn't even be shocked if the Browns beat the Ravens here at all. Like if like this would be one of the better money line bets that I would take. Like I
Plus
wouldn't bet the
500.
Titans money line against Detroit, but I would bet the Browns money line against the Ravens. I'm taking the points obviously for the sake of the show, but that would be like the biggest underdog this week where I would just straight up take the money line too.
Plus 320.
Yeah.
It'd make it interesting.
All right, Alex.
All right, my second pick here, completely different game, but we are going to another divisional matchup. Chiefs Raiders. I'm going to take the under 42 and a half. Kansas City is 6-1 to divisional unders the last 2 years, and that offense has just not looked good whatsoever. I mean, you've got Mahomes going up against Gardner Minshew and putting up Gardner Minshew numbers with 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. But that team, that defense, they're Super Bowl worthy again, and I just don't see the Raiders being able to move the ball at all. I think Spags is going to dial up the blitz like he always does, and Minshew is one of the worst quarterbacks against the blitz in the league. He's 30 out of 36 qualifying QBs against the blitz in PFF rating. And Kansas City just, through these Mahomes years, they just don't, they obviously find ways to win left and right, but one of the ways that you don't see too often is blowing teams out. And so, Mahomes is 46% ATS as a favorite of more than a field goal. So the Raiders, last year they beat them, was that Christmas Eve maybe? It was one of the holiday games, I want to say. But, they played them really tough, got Mahomes kind of, not looking like himself. And so I just see this as another tough divisional game. The Chiefs, they'll win it, but I just don't see a ton of points from either side here. So give me the under 42 and a half.
All right, moving on to my second pick. Going to talk about more of a fun game for you fans out there. Bengals Eagles going over 48. Two high-powered offenses versus two pretty suspect defenses. I just think there's going to be a lot of points here. I mean, yes, the one way I could see this gets disrupted is if the Eagles are getting pressure from their front four on the Bengals offensive line, which has been historically bad. It's not great this year again. And, but if there is time for Burrow to throw the ball, Eagles secondary has been, pretty suspect over the last couple of years. I know they brought in the two rookies and Quinion Mitchell. It's been having a good year. And Cooper DeJean as well. But still, I mean, Jalen Hurts has been suspect to throw picks, turnovers. I mean, I just think that there's going to be a lot of possessions in this game, a lot of points scored. Cincinnati is, by 9 out of the last 13 games have gone over. Yes, and this game is in Cincinnati. So I think it's just gonna be points. I mean, both these teams are averaging, 21 to 26 points a game. I just Saquon Barkley. I mean, there's playmakers on each side of the ball. It's gonna be hard to believe that this game is gonna be a dud. So give me the over 48 in a fun game.
Who is going to start with their lock?
I'll go ahead. My lock of the week is going to be the Texans Colts under 46 and a half. So these two teams so far this year are combined 9-5 to the under. I know the last time they played, it was kind of a shootout, and so I think this line is a little bit inflated because of that. You've got Houston, who has been leaning on the run without Nico playing, and their offense hasn't been really living up to that preseason expectation that I think we had for them. They're 31st in early down success rate, only behind the Browns. And that's generally a huge indicator of teams who are consistently putting up points, moving the ball downfield, is that early down success rate. Not getting into long third downs, not getting behind the chains early. And on top of that, Indy is getting DeForest Buckner back. So that D-line is going to get a little bit of a bolster there. And on the offensive side for the Colts, AR is still playing pretty inefficiently, and 9 for 19 last week.
Against the best pass defense in the league.
Okay, so what else has he put up against worse defenses this year?
Great numbers. Just go back and watch
Just,
the tape.
just great numbers. Yeah.
Great. Just trust it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how's he been doing against the blitz?
Very good.
Really?
Yeah, he's very good.
Okay, because PFF tends to disagree.
Well, PFF's lying.
PFF has him ranked dead last for quarterbacks against the blitz.
For throwing?
Just quarterback grade.
Okay.
And Houston is a blitz heavy team, and that D line is nasty. The Colts are also getting JT back, so I think that they're going to lean on him a little bit more. And I don't think these divisional games, traditionally they don't shoot out. This first one did, and so I think this line is a little bit inflated for what it actually should be. And it's past the key numbers here, 45 and 46. So I'd grab it now. Give me the lock of the week, under 46.5.
I feel like there's unnecessary shots thrown my way again, but it is what it is.
Corey has like drunk goggles for Anthony Richardson, and
you were talking a whole lot of smoke against Caleb earlier.
No.
Who have they?
I did not. I said
oh my God,
I asked a general question and was not throwing shade anywhere. I just said, what defenses have they played? And he's looked very good. I said he's looked good against those defenses that give up points. Just asking a general question. Jesus.
I mean, if you can't stand the heat, don't get in the kitchen, Corey.
Oh, I can stand the heat.
Okay.
Sure about that?
Who's next?
I'll go.
I think I might change my lock, so someone else.
Oh my God. What the heck? All right, I'm gonna go.
I'm getting cold feet, I'll be honest.
I'm taking the Miami Dolphins here, -3.5 at home against Arizona Cardinals. Number one reason I just kind of gave it. The Dolphins defense is very good. Passing defense. I'm not worried about Kyler Murray. Tua is finally coming back. The only thing I am worried about is Tua getting hit and we're getting the end of his career, because I don't know how many more times that guy can get touched. If he's not wearing guardian cap,
He's not.
someone needs to be fired from the
Well,
Dolphins.
he won't wear it.
Well, someone needs to make him wear it, because that's the way this guy's going to save his brain. But Tyreek Hill, I mean, obviously the Colts locked him and Waddle down last week. No targets whatsoever. Tyreek Hill was very fiery today about playing him in fantasy. So if playing DFS, I think he's going to be 100% locked in all my lineups. And the Cardinals defense secondary is so bad. And you have this offense that's just been wanting to break out for the last 3 weeks. Like, basically just have these ropes around them, just on the threads, just about to snap. And this is a game where they're going to put up like 50 points. I feel like it has that written all over it. Mike McDaniels is going to want to make sure that he shows off his shiny object into us, saying, hey, we're behind him. We're all this good stuff. It's just going to come out in this game. So give me the Miami Dolphins here, minus the 3.5. To give you fun stuff. Miami's 4-2 ATS in the last 6 games played in October, 4-0-1 ATS in the last 5 games played in week 8. So take that to the bank and give me the Miami Dolphins minus 3.5.
I think McDaniels is coaching for his job here too.
I don't think so. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
That I enjoy the guy. I like how he's, a different cat, but when it's all good and fun when you're winning and putting up points and looking good, but that fun loving, players coach type of guy ends up being the scapegoat a lot of times when you start racking up losses. So,
well,
Nick, are you still deciding?
No, I think I'm just going to stick to my guns.
I think I would recommend changing if I were you, but
I know
you can stick with it.
I'll just go. I'm going to go Vikings minus 2.5. I think it might be a trap line. Rams are coming off the bye. Vikings had a big week against the Lions, kind of a letdown loss at the end of the game. Total trap line, but I'm still going to bite. And the reason being, I think the Rams have had a tough season, they've only scored more than 20 points once this year. And I guess I'm just playing the Vikings offense with a lot of playmakers. I'm not very confident in the Rams secondary at all. So just kind of banking on Justin Jefferson to like hold it together here.
And they
Yeah.
just talked
I,
about
I wish
trade
this wasn't my
rumors.
lock, but
They're talking about trading this week, like swapping quarterbacks. Like, man,
Yeah. The Rams are probably winning that game, in my opinion.
I know. But
I feel like
Yeah.
every year there's these like trap lines and you'll say it in advance and then you still take it. Like you at least you could identify it. That's good.
yeah, you start looking at it, you're like, that's a terrible pick, and then you're trying to self-rationalize it, but I'm
Yeah.
just gonna.
I think that there's a Dan Campbell Lions stat. I think every team that's played the Lions this year has lost the following week. Like they're just
They're just
beating
beat
up
up.
on, yeah, they just beat up teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. My lock of the week. So we went from the Titans, Browns. We are now on the Carolina Panthers plus 10. So yeah, I mean, it's the ugly picks of the week for me this week. Um
I feel
uh,
better about my pick now.
so they're making the switch back to Bryce Young and again, I mean, Andy Dalton, yes, I think he's a bit better than Bryce Young, but it's the Denver Broncos laying and Bo Nix laying double digit points. That should just never happen. Like I've talked about this in years prior, where there's just some quarterbacks like they should never be laying that many points against any NFL team. It doesn't matter who it is, should never. And then the Carolina Panthers, obviously one of the worst. It's a low total game in which I would bet the under on this game as well. So it's like in this low scoring game that you also need to cover 10 against. That seems very, very out of reach in my opinion. Um, Bo Nix can turn the ball over at any given moment. This isn't some like star-studded team. They've overperformed expectations thus far, but this has just gotten out of hand. This is the easiest pick of the week in my opinion. Um, I would lean yes, the Broncos at home still probably take this win away, but after the Browns, this would be like the second longest money line of the week, where I think wouldn't be like a horrible bet just to take Carolina as 10-point dogs against Bo Nix. Like that's crazy to me.
I don't
You
know
know who
about
they would have covered this line against this year? The Saints, 33-10 SmackDown. Still a little salty from that, huh?
I don't know how the Panthers score points. That's my issue against this defense. Like, I mean, has Bryce Young developed in the last 4 weeks? Like, how are they going to move the ball? They can't run on
Defensive points, field goals, like literally they could score a defensive touchdown, two field goals, and to me, they're covering. Like that's 13 points. Like I don't see like the Broncos as this like stars.
banking on a defensive touchdown to cover 10
Or,
or
no,
11.
or you get one of just like a Bo Nix turnover on like the 10-yard line, and then Chuba Hubbard runs it in, or
I mean, I know. I just talking out loud that
yeah,
this defense is pretty good.
the Bo Nix. There's certain quarterbacks like they should never lay double digit points, and
Pat Surtain's
if
back.
you follow
Yeah.
that for the rest of history in the NFL, just taking like completely unproven quarterbacks, um, have shown their turnover worthy, like just bet against them as double digit dogs or when they're double digit favorites every time, and I think it'd be profitable.
Okay.
That'd be an interesting stat.
Yeah, well, I'll do it every year because this occurs like every year. I forget who. There was another situation last year. I feel like very similar to this. I'd have to look back at who it was. But all right, that was all of our picks, right?
How's everyone?
All right, that'll do it for week 8. I mean, we're like almost halfway through the regular season. Still got a lot of football left, but it's crazy how far we're already in. So please leave a like, subscribe, comment your favorite bet of the week, and we will see you next time.